Hello, dear students. A very warm morning to everyone. Hopefully, you all are maintaining the social distance as we are combating with COVID 19. Therefore, our school has gone online to teach you at your home. Today, we are going to start a new chapter named Three Questions, written by a very famous renowned writer, Leo Tolstoy. Let's have a brief about Leo Tolstoy. He was a Russian writer, and his writings are marked by great faith in God, respect for moral values. He was born in 1828 in Russia and also served in Russian army for 5 years. Board NCERT book. So in this chapter, we are going to read about a king who many years ago lived there. Once he thought that if he knew the answer of 3 questions, he would never fail in life. The 3 questions were: what is the right time to begin something? Second question was, which people should he listen to? And the third question was, what is the most important thing for him to do? So, the king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these 3 questions. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. In the reply to the first question, some said king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything as at proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance that right time for doing something. The king should notice all that was going on, avoid foolish pleasures, and always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who should help him act at the proper time. This was because one man who would find it impossible to decide correctly. Without help from others, the right time for every action. But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. These things could not wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future, and only magicians could do that. The king therefore would have to go to magicians. In the answers to the second questions, some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselors. Others said the priests. A few others chose the doctors, and yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. To the third question, some said science, others chose fighting, and yet others religious worship. So, in the above read para, king has been replied by various group of people advising him different answers, which was not the ultimate answer what he was looking for. And the reward announced by the king was not allotted to anyone. So thereafter he decided to meet a hermit who was widely known for his wise suggestions across the kingdom. So he, the king, decided to go in person and meet that hermit, because he will not come out of the wood where he was living. At the same time, he heard the hermit would only see common people. So the king put on dress, left his guards behind, and went to see the hermit. When the king approached the hermit was digging the ground, as we can see in the picture in front of his hut. The king asked his questions, but the hermit went on digging. The king offered to dig for a while, as it was requested by the king to the hermit for give him the spade so that he can dig the beds of that field. Hermit thought of giving the spade to the king because he was so tired after digging so much of the field. He was so tired and he wanted to take rest. So he made a wise decision and gave the spade to the king for digging the beds on the ground. The king started digging the beds. After completing 2 beds, he stopped digging and asked the questions from the hermit. The same question, in search of which he visited the hermit. The hermit did not give any answer, but stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade. It seemed like the hermit did not want to answer the questions of the king, but he tried to take the spade from king as he wanted to dig the beds again. This scene continued for 1 hour and then another. The sun went down behind the trees, and at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my question. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return my home." "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. So, in this first portion of the story, the hermit did not answer the question of the king as he wanted to answer him practically. Now, my dear students, it's time for you to do some task. Since you can see the comprehension check is given in the book, and the questions containing number 1 is why did the king want to know answers to 3 questions. Number 2, messengers were sent throughout the kingdom. Now, what was the purpose for that? To fetch wise man. Second, to find answers to the questions. Number 3, to look for the wise hermit. And number 4, to announce a reward for those who could answer the questions. So now you wisely mark your choice and answer it. Apart from this, I would like to give you more a task which will contain a short question answer or brief question answer, antonyms, synonyms, and writing work. So your question will be sent to you, or you can make a note of that question also. Question number 1 is, who was Leo Tolstoy? Briefly write the answer. Now the question number 2 is, write down the synonyms of kingdom, foolish, and necessary. Question number 3, write down antonyms of future, reward, and certain. Now question number 4 is, imagine you are the king and narrate the incident of your meeting the hermit. So, dear students, for today we are done, and we are looking forward to meet you tomorrow. Thank you very much.